She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shawty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vannas. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done there every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Speed at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now it's the Boise State along, Jay Ajayi. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Ajayi. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. Sheds off the tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Smith on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. Rasul Douglas picks it. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Cooper was the target there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing edge.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Noah Spence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They run with Ajayi. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles add on to their lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath, a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He leads this one for Howard. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
15. Yellow. Hey, gun.
On 1st down, Smith. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll fake it. Now Smith under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go, 15. Liz.
Out of the gun, Smith. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
It's such an impressive first half to get that lead. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw is Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. A dump off to Smallwood. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really, at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now, as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Now they'll run it on the toss. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that'll be incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the return will stop right around the 25. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Smith now to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down. We have hit half. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw on second down is Smith. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man. Second in is St. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now Smith. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Third and long, it's Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this...
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Steps away. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That goes for a gain of 31. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the interception by the Redskins indeed leads to a touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception.
Jay's going to go. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Tiger. Regular.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A very solid gain of 27.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Double.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. And on the ground they go with the running back. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Rasul Douglas there to get him down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing on 3rd and long. Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 6 on the dump-off, but it'll bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Wentz. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Out to his left. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Shotgun now for Wentz. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Redskins now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Washington. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. This is Ajayi. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Crowder now to return. Oh, a nice spin. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
To throw on 2nd down, Smith. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
No, right. Yellow. Let's go.
From the 50, it's Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins 1st. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Five. We got 50. quit? Why you quit? Orange, orange, orange. Regular. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah.
Now Smith looking to throw on second down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Run, run.
On second down, Smallwood. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that sets up a big 3rd down. Now the decision has to be, do you run it here and play for OT, or do you go ahead and press it downfield?
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Great.
Wentz to throw. Able to get away. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zach Brown coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. To throw is Wentz. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation. Elliott good on the extra point. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that. But also, you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. One last throw here for Smith. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Eagles, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And